have a solo mission on today. Belle is moving house, and with it being Friday, Mavericks is working, so I thought I'd just take the short trip up the road from my joint and have a walk around Middlehead. It's been about 3 years since I've been up here. It'll be interesting to see what's changed in that time. I have mentioned in the past, when I was in my teens, we used to come up here and explore the tunnels, the fortifications, and this was a naval base at the time, and there was a gate just up here and you couldn't get through. So with the guys having dorms in this building down here, we used to sneak and commando crawl along the side of this building and get in that way, because you weren't allowed to walk in through the gates here. So I'm going to walk around, see what's different, show you a few places where some scenes are filmed from the movie Stone in 1974. There is a lookout post that me and Mav did about 6 years ago that was ready to fall down onto the rocks. I want to get to that and see if it's still standing. They don't want you going to that particular lookout. They've got a lot of shrubs in front of it, so a lot of people don't know that that's there. So we'll see if we can find that. And exactly where these two posts are down here is where the gate used to be manned 24 hours a day back in the early 90s when I used to come down. So these two posts here mark that. You know, the cocky in there waiting to be fed. So all these buildings that were once used for the naval base are now businesses. A lot of them are empty. You see this one down here has got a fence around it now. The last time I was here there was no fence here. Let's see if there's any graffiti. Let's see how many people are getting in. I'm not quite sure what they plan on doing with these buildings. There's an asbestos sign down there. No unauthorised persons permitted. There has been windows smashed. So it looks like in the last 2 or 3 years kiddies have been getting in, although there is not any graffiti that I can see. The roof has started to decay, so they've got some tarps over there. A tree has fallen on the fencing all the way down there. And if you keep on heading along here, it takes you to the, I think it's Chowder Bay, the nude beach down here. I remember coming up here with my son, that would have been in the early 2000s when he was a young boy, and I had no idea at that time that it was a nude beach. And we went down there with my son and my old man, and it was very embarrassing. Turned around quick smart. Yeah, so there's no graffiti. Fencing around everywhere. Windows have been boarded up. You could probably get in up at night time. You could probably Bosnian Bill your way in through that door there. But they're just empty rooms. We may do that one day. We don't get to use our flashlights as often as we once did, Mavericks and myself, so we'll come up here under the cover of darkness and have a bit of a scout around. There's another fresh plywood board down there. So it goes all the way around, so that's the way we used to come up. So these would have lights and you could see the guys sitting on their beds and everything. So we would commando crawl all the way up here. This one's falling apart as well. Just go see exactly what this nude beach is called. I could be wrong in what I just called it. See, this gentleman's going down for a bit of a naked bake on the beach down there. Watch out, penguins about. Sydney Harbour National Park. Doesn't look like they promote it. Looks like it was Cobbler's Beach, not Chowder Bay. So Cobbler's Beach is one nude beach, and then you've got Obelisk Beach, which is another nude beach, which is all the way up there. I don't know why I said Chowder Bay. So that's where I am here. That fortification that's ready to fall onto the rocks is somewhere around about here. So we're going to go back up onto that road and then we're going to get to the point up here as well. I'll get a picture of this sign and then we'll continue on our way. Back then you also had caretakers up here living in some of these old buildings, so you had to be careful. I can see one thing that's changed. There's an old tower over there that looks like it's not as tall as it once was. There used to be a bird's nest up on top of that. We'll come back through this road here, but we're going to head up along here. Pretty much the same sign as the one we just filmed. So this is Governor's Road, 100 metres up to the officers' quarters. It looks like they've turned it into accommodation. National Parks and Wildlife here, surveying the area during the day. No dogs. 30 degrees today. It's going to be a hot one. I started this just after putting on my washing. It's about 9 o'clock, so I should finish in a couple of hours. See some old retaining walls there. I think that was a moat around this particular accommodation house back in the day. This is way before World War II era. I think there might be a sign up here telling us what it's all about. This one's called Bridges Cottage. Looks like it's empty at the moment. No one's hired it out. I wouldn't expect too many people up here today. Everyone's working. Although it is school holidays. The officers' quarters. The Victorian Regency style building designed by noted colonial architect James, it's been rubbed out, Baynet, is one of the most significant buildings at Middlehead. See, it dates right back to the 1880s. So this predates World War II. Actually, I might get a picture of this residence in that picture. Just walk down here and grab some video of the moat if it's still there and hasn't been filled in. See the little holes where they would have cannons or rifles poking through. That's an old wall. And there's the moat down there. So this again would probably take you down to the nude beach. Just go down a little bit further, film this moat. Yeah, see, it takes you straight to that track. We could have actually come up there, but we would have missed the front of the quarters here. See, that would have stopped people attacking. They came in from the water down here, and there was a surgence of army personnel wanting to attack this particular building. This would be filled up with water, and you wouldn't be getting in. You'd have the guns and the cannons manning those little windows there. Been restored beautifully. Look how old that sandstone is there. Let's get on with what we came up here for. Otherwise this video is going to go for hours. The track that we need to take is just off to the left here, and this will take us down to the fortifications that face Manly Wharf. And we'll then head around and the old Kookaburra catching worms. He's got something. This is known as the inner Middlehead. Grade 3, really? I don't remember it being that hard of a track, especially when it's only 80 metres. Should be rated as easy. See the bottom one there? Unstable structures. They ain't lying when they tell you that, especially the one that I'm going to take you to. It was filmed on a lesser camera back in 2019. It was a 640p, even though this is not that much better, but you will see a lot clearer images with HD. This should now veer off to the left up here. Have a long walkway to go down in under the fortifications if you want, but they're pretty much locked, so you can't get in there. We're going to turn left here. Oh, so they've put walkways in actually. I don't remember that walkway. So Cobbler's Beach. Okay, so this takes you to the nude beach. I don't remember an actual path that came up from the beach here. This is new. You see this when I did the walk over there in the Royal National Park last year. There was a lot of this that I was walking on. So this is new. This is what the government's done in the last couple of years. The one we want to go to is just up here. Yeah, down here. Okay, so this is the long walk down to get in under the fortifications. That's the way we have to go after. So this door will be locked down here, although I can see some security fencing. Let's see what's been going on down here. Very echoey. Oh, they don't even let you. Someone has moved this to even stop you getting to the gate here. So they're VR 1871. Yo. Let's just see if there's a lock here. It sure is. It is just. They changed the locks. Let me see. They have. They've changed the locks from pin tumbler, and you can now no longer get in. So it looks like they're fully aware that people were Bosnian building their way in, and they've now changed the locks. Get around the other side here. I think they're called a bi-lock, where you've got the pins on either end instead of just one single track. And down here you'll see a little lookout post where I've got a pretty famous picture of myself from way back in 2016. Oh wow, look at the naval ship just sitting out on the water there. It's been towed. We'll pick the right day to come down here. Oh, they've closed it in. Wow. Now this is different. This was a big gap. A lot of people were getting down in here. Let me see if they've changed this lock. Yep, bi-lock as well. Security measures have been upgraded big time. This was not here. This is brand new. That looks beautiful. Yeah, there's a picture of me from way back standing on this thing here when I came up with Ranger Stacey. So you're looking up towards Dobroyd up there. And the joint that we want to go to is off the cliff down here somewhere. It's going to be one hell of a bush bash through here. See how they don't want you going down to it? But we'll get to it. There is another little bunker under here. We'll see if they've changed the lock on that as well. This is new. Stopping you from going down. See what's down in there. This is the one that we're going to try to get down to. And there's an A195. What a stunning day. What are they doing with it? Turning it around. I'm not sure if they've brought it out from Woolloomooloo there, down near Harry's Cafe, and it's ready to go out the heads, or it's come in from the heads and something's happened with the motor and they're going to tow it in. You've got the Lollipop Lighthouse over there. You can see a bunker right next to it. That's something that we did a bit of reconnaissance on 2 or 3 years ago. I'm thinking the locks up there may have been fortified as well, which will make it pretty hard to get in. And over on that side, you got North Head. And there's Manly in the distance. See, this is new as well. Chaos at the station. We'll get a picture of all this in a second. We'll just go see if this down here has been upgraded. So the old stairs leading down. And this one is open. Okay, so they don't mind you coming into this one. A little bit closer view of the boat as well. We walked around that headland, if you remember, going down to the little fishermen's cottages 2 or 3 years ago as well. We've done a lot of exploring up here over the years. We have the desired pictures from up here. It looks like they're taking the naval ship into Woolloomooloo. A big dog leg now facing in towards Sydney Harbour. Was another little vantage point down here where you can get right down and even jump down onto a rock if you really wanted to. There's a rock down there you could get to. Well, we're going to head down there on the other side anyway. So. I think it says A195 on it. It looks like it's come out or come in from the wide open seas in through the heads, stopped here, and the tugs are pushing it in. You see a lot of this happening up there in Newcastle Harbour as well, where they have to pretty much stop there before they come into the harbour. And then from memory, I remember doing a video up there. The captain relinquishes his driving and then they chopper someone out, I think from the Newcastle area, the harbour there, and he actually floats on in. I think that's what someone was trying to tell me up there when I was doing some filming. And on the back of the boats up there, when you see him come in through the harbour up in there at Newcastle there, through the breakwalls, you see the seals catching a ride, hitching a ride on the back propellers there. All right, let's go see if we can make our way through the bush without cutting ourselves too much up. We'll drop down onto that lookout post and see what it's all about. This is going to get some getting to, I think. From memory, this was not easy at all. See some old stairs here. And there's the Grotto Point, I think it is, lighthouse. Another area where I've explored. Went there with my son many, many years ago, and have taken different people over the years. Right, let's see if these stairs will lead us where we want to go. I actually don't remember stairs going down to this place. I just remember doing a full-on bush bash with Mav. So some of these bunkers I'm going to take you to today are off the beaten track. Unless you have knowledge of this area, you wouldn't know how to get to them. So you've got an old sign here that someone's ripped down saying, "No entry, do not climb on structure, unstable structure." So that's it down here somewhere. See how they've tried to block the way? It's what they do, National Parks and Wildlife. They want to stop you, which is understandable because this one is dangerous. And there it is right there. This was a lot easier than what I can recall. So there is a ladder off this thing. Well, there used to be anyway. I don't know if it's still here. Now we came up this way. I remember climbing up here. It doesn't look like we came up this way. No, must have been the ladder. No, this is not it. There it is down there. So they've just put this concrete. This must have been a viewing platform. Okay, this has got nothing to do with a lookout post. This was a track. Once upon a time, they brought you down to a lookout. You can see the railings here where it was. So there's nothing under here. You can see natural rock underneath, and they've placed this concrete. The one that we want to get to is over here. I'll keep filming until I have to climb down. I'll show you the terrain down here. Alright, now this is where problems. We have to go down in through here, I think. I knew that there was going to be a bit of bush bashing involved. Alright, commando crawls through the bush. That may have been the way we came down originally, because I don't remember being on that lookout with Mavericks. Here it is right here. Now there used to be a ladder off this thing. There may not be one anymore. If I was National Parks and Wildlife, I would have removed it. There it is there, still there. And it looks okay. Yeah, so this is the way we climbed up instead of going back up the ladder. So what we'll see, we'll get into this room that's below me, and then we'll get on the rock down there, and I'll show you what's holding this on, which is not much. I'll turn the camera off here actually just until I get inside. So my first advice would be for no one to come here, because it's dangerous. Now, the way we got down is along the bush there and then down onto the rocks. You can see it's a hell of a drop here. The room with the view is one level down. So this may have been for storage up here. And the reason why we climbed back up this way, I think, is that it's a lot easier to head up this way than doing the ladder. See if we can jump up on top through the window here. These are the ones that you can see from the ferry, and people might be asking themselves, how do you get to them? Well, they're pretty well right on the cliff face. These are not tourist attractions, these ones. You can see how the rock is crumbling away. See all the Rio here. They're starting to fall apart. Rocks are starting to fall. So we'll see if we can get into this room below, which has a magnificent view, and then we'll make it up to the top. We'll see if we can get some video and some pictures of it from down below. You'll see this ladder has seen better days. It's still hanging on, but eventually it will go. I'll have to turn the camera off for this. This has changed considerably since the last time I was here. Even just getting down this ladder and trying to get down into this little room. There's some pictures on the internet from years gone by. There used to be a chair right here, and it was a lot easier to get in to this particular little surge post. So you can get back up that way for it a little bit easier. I think I actually might climb up that way and in through the window. I think that's what we did. I didn't realise there was a window here. Yeah, okay, so I'll climb back up that way and then back up again. Save myself the risk. Now this particular post that I'm on, this is the one that's ready to crumble. You'll see once we get onto the rocks below that there's not much left of this holding it on. That's what it looks like. So I'll pan all the way around. There's the Spit Bridge in the distance. Grotto Point Lighthouse. There's another little lookout up there. I forget what that lookout there is called. It's at the end of Cutlass Road, I think it is. And then you've got Dobroyd Head, where the little fishermen's huts are in that cove there. And we walked from North Harbour Reserve all the way around on low tide to the fishermen's huts, then back up to Tenya Park. You got Manly, quarantine station over there. Got the North Head Fortifications, North Head over there. You can see where the rocks have collapsed. See how that little bit comes down past the sheer cliff there? That was a rock collapse some then on to South Head over here. Watson's Bay. Looks like there's another naval ship coming in. So the first one came in, the other one was sitting probably out there at sea. They'll sort this one out with the tugs, and then they'll need to turn this one around as well. Oh, what a beautiful area. This trusty Rio is what's holding a lot of this concrete. If you remember, one of these up there at North Head, up here, killed a person. I think he was hanging on to it. So if you remember a number of years ago, you see here how this is just about to fall. He was hanging on to someone, hanging off it, and it fell on top of him and crushed him. Concrete cancer. Once again, I advise no one to do this. This rock is totally crumbling, and even though I came up what once was considered the easy way, there's nowhere really where you can grip. All it takes is one rock. Okay, so there's a few footholds that I put my feet in, jumped up, but this rock here is just slowly disintegrating. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to see if I can wedge myself up this rock. You can see the cable that was coming down. This would have had power once upon a time. There would have been a light in here. Because as I said, this would have been storage. As you see, no window here. And the search post viewing is below me. So I'm going to get up here, hop on top, then walk along the cliff a little bit and see if I can get at the bottom there. The money shot's right at the bottom to show you how rotted it is. Here's the money shot. Have a look at the concrete cancer that has set in. It is built on a big rock and someone has put a post under it. I remember that now. But since we've been here last, there's been a rock collapse up here. The way we came down, it made it a lot harder for me to get down here. So you can see where it's broken away. All this around here, look at that rock there, fallen down as well. All these rocks that you see in the water here, same thing. There's the other one up there. That's where the lookout was. It's a forever changing landscape, these cliffs all around. See right on that side, as I mentioned, with the big rock collapse. Look how close the naval boat is now. Once we get to the other fortifications, that boat should be heading in. Absolutely amazing. I would love to jump down onto here. Problem is, if I jump down on here, am I going to be able to get back? Let me just survey the situation over here. I want to get a wider yeah, I might be able to get up there. I think that's what I might have done in the first place. Way back 6 years ago. So let's have a bit of a drop down here. Survey mark. It's like a trig station. Right on the end here. Excuse the wind, excuse the noise. There you go. A little bit of graffiti left on there. It's windy down here. Just making my way back up from down the rock there, wedge myself up in through here. You can see where a little bit of concrete has fallen down from this bunker above. Here's a good shot here of where we got in through the ladder, then the search post down here, and what's holding it down here. This will probably be the very last time I come here in my lifetime. It's a little bit too risky. When I went to bed last night, I thought this was going to be a very easy film, but in that 6 years there's been a lot of changes. It's made it a lot harder. Once upon a time you would have been able to climb straight down there, but not anymore. See, this is all falling away. This rock here is ready to go at some point as well, and eventually the whole thing will probably go. There he is. This guy's going in himself. No tugs needed for this one. Maybe the other one had something wrong with the motor. Bloody windy down here. There's the Manly ferry crossing the heads here. Okay, the hard part is done for today. All we have to do is just scale this mountain, and I'll start filming once we're back up to that lookout right up the very top. For those of you who were hoping that I would fall, not today, my friends. Today is not the day that you bury Optimus Prime. Today's a good day. Here's the stairs that a lot of people don't get to see. I should get my camera out right here and show these old forgotten stairs. And this is the stairwell or staircase to heaven. Back up to where we were. Hey. A few hairy moments, I will not lie. Could do with a bit of a drink. Here's an air shaft for these fortifications that are up here. Yeah, it's surprising that they have sealed this. It has come in bits and pieces, you can see here. 1 piece, 2 piece, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22 pieces make up this hatch, the cover. This would have been done by the New South Wales government, considering they upgraded the track up here. Okay, that's it from up here in the inner forts. Now going to get back onto that track, and I'll come show you some of the bunkers that are up there. Last time I visited them, they were flooded. Be interesting to see if they've been closed off and if they have any water in them. So we have walked back up to the top here. Now this is one entrance to this underground bunker. The second one is from the top here. We'll see how much this has changed. See, this is all new, what I'm walking on. This was just a dirt trail years ago. They've put in stairs or steps This is all new. Threat from above. They've done this really, really well. It's just unfortunate that they can't allow people inside. There is a lot of the roof caving in, so I can understand it's dangerous for people. There's a sign right at the end there. Does it say CCTV or? It says something down there. Let me get the flashlight out. We've got another little plaque down here as well. I always said in the past, explore as much as you can, because you never know when you're not going to be able to anymore. If you're interested, I've been in every single one of these bunkers up here, these fortifications, everywhere. So if you look back on my channel, you will see, so this didn't even go anywhere. And they block this as well, bi-lock. Let me have a look. Yeah, all brand new spanking locks. The days of pin tumblers are long gone. They've sealed, put plates in down there. Oh no, they're mimicking the guns. The 6-inch Mark V shells. Key to, hey yo, they call me. Oh, it's a sticker. It's a sticker. And this one, wow, this one's only got a tiny lock, and that can be Bosnian built very, very easy. So these are still accessible if you know what you're doing. These are still very much accessible. 6-inch BL Mark V. Mount hydro pneumatic disappearing gun. Rate of fire 1 round per 2 minutes. Range 7.3 kilometres. 1889 to 1927. So this again is before the threat of the Japanese. I think I've got some pictures of me from way back in 2011 doing a Clio centerfold right here. I've still got my clothes on, but the female that I was seeing at the time, I think she was up there. She was just standing there, and I've got me standing and laying down on this thing there that looks like a tomb. We'll head on out. I'm going to get a few pictures from here, and then the next one along is the one that's normally flooded. Walking along this platform here, I kind of knew that this one was going to be off limits. They've tried to hide it, so if you didn't know that it was here, you would miss it. We've got a tree growing in front of it. I'm hoping that this entrance here is going to get covered up. And this was the one that was flooded. They've got a fence around it. Let me get the flashlight out. And we'll have a look to see if there's any lock on it or if it's flooded. It's open. And we may be even able to walk through it, fellas and felines. It is very muddy. No, that's all I go, it is flooded. I've got my sunglasses on, I can't see a thing. Lucky I didn't walk down any further. The steps have got mud on them. So yeah, that's exactly how I remember it from 2 or 3 years ago. Look at the old door here, the old gate from back in the day as well. I don't know how deep that is, but there is video of us walking through it, it may be around 2017 when it was dry. Got like a little exhaust stack at the back here somewhere. There was another way that you could enter from up here. I'm not quite sure, they've blocked it off now, but you'd find very few people, apart from the National Parks and Wildlife, that know all the bunkers from up here. Yeah, so this was another way that you could drop in. This has been screwed in and then welded. The nuts have been welded, so you're not unloosening those. So we would normally drop in through here and exit out through the other way. I think I'll get a few pictures of the entrance and that, and then we'll get out on the clearing over there and we're going to get over the top of the tiger cages. It's not too bad during the day. If you come here at night, you're a little bit frightful. If you're not used to the area and you're coming across dark doors like that, I'm not quite sure what's going on. These would have had people living out of them 30, 40, 50 years ago, after they were no longer needed, but they would have been kicked out like they were with the fishermen's huts down there at Crater Cove, I think it is. This is beautiful that they've done this, I must say. Very easy. That's the other way in. See, I don't know why they cut that tree down. It would have been nice just to leave that open and people would know. That's where that grate was. And this down here should open up into a beautiful area where you see the main forts. The Middlehead fortifications are down here. I'll tell you about the very famous movie that was filmed down here. You had episodes like Police Rescue film their last episode down here. Other shows that have been on TV have also come down here and filmed in the tunnels. Wildside, which is on the ABC with Alex Dimitriadis, they also filmed down here. You can just see an opening through there. This is just about to open into a big field. So that'll be the road that we head back along to exit the inner Middlehead forts that we've just been to. And if you have a look here, National Parks and Wildlife with the boomerang under there, the last, or maybe 5 or 6 videos ago, you would have seen that one up there at Ranger headquarters at Waratah National Park, the fictitious park with the Hammond family and Skippy. Look at that. Wow. Now these are all new. Look at those guns. This is all the works that have been going on here. Yep. That's been closed off. I've got a picture of my son on top of that thing. How old would he have been? 2005, would have been 6 years of age. On top of that fort right there, back in 2005. They fixed the Tiger, the power room, what's known as the power room. Interesting to see if that information board there says power room. They've painted them. They've cut the sandstone to perfection. Okay, so this is known as the outer Middlehead. Let them in, or keep them out. That's what they were fearful of. That's what I remember. I don't remember any further back, but when we were at school we were reading up on World War II, and a lot of the barbed wire that was surrounding the northern beaches here was dumped up there at the school that I went to at Manly Vale Public on top of Sunshine Street. There was caves up there when I was a child known as barbed wire caves just off Sunshine Tracks. So I'll just put that here. I'm not quite sure if you'll be able to read it. If you're interested, pause the screen. I'll just go down here and see if this says the power room. So you've got tunnels all under here as well. And I'm standing on top of the power room. We worked out that that was the shower block in 2017 because that was covered with bush back then. The tiger cages, here we go. This is the ones that I tell everyone about. I'll let the information board tell you. The tiger cages were located in the old underground engine room. I think it's referred to a power room in a different post that I read. Under the middle head batteries are the networks of tunnels during the Malayan emergency 1948-1960 and the Vietnam War 62 to 75. Australian officers were trained in the former engine room. The experience of torture and imprisonment in the Viet Cong tiger cage was simulated under similar conditions. Barry Peterson described the experience as the school of torture, where the water dripped incessantly and the walls were discoloured by age and slime. A loudspeaker in the ceiling blared the Internationale, or the East is Red, interspersed with fanatical voices. It emitted a series of high shrieks, so penetrating that it was virtually impossible to sleep or think clearly. The pit was a cellar with ankle-deep water and the variation of relative quiet, total darkness, and time to reflect on past and future punishments. Above, Australian Army Training Team Vietnam, course at the School of Military Intelligence, Middlehead, 1966. God bless you guys. A lot of those guys would be still alive. So it's nice that they've got a board up here notifying everyone about the tiger cage. So this is new. There's pictures of me standing. So the original bars are just below here. I've got also pictures of me down there looking up through the bars here. So they've put this in so you can't even see down anymore. I think that's to stop people dropping things down, although you could drop things down there. They might have tours here. So if you're interested in getting down there, it looks like it's been painted. We'll be able to see down through here. If you're interested in tours, maybe look it up. They might open it once a month. This has all been fixed. This was all falling apart. So this was an old toilet block, I'm pretty sure, down here. I think that's one of the old toilets right there. Yeah, they are all along here. There's the urinals. There would have been basins there to wash your hands. So this was all covered by bush. We only stumbled upon this back then. You couldn't really tell this was here. And this, that police rescue episode I was telling you about, Mickey comes in from this direction to save the little girl that's down in here lost in the tunnels. And there are the tiger cages. Right there. Yeah, you can smell fresh paint in there. I think it's just for the... I can't see exactly. Hang on, let me take my glasses off. No, they've left it as it is. So the paint is the pylon up the top there that's shoring up the roof so it doesn't collapse in on itself. And we have got lockwise here. Avis bilock, so you are not getting in to this one. Being by myself, it's hard to film and take pictures. I have to stop the video camera every time I need to grab some snaps. There's so many of these information boards now that weren't here before that you have to take pictures of, because there'll come a day where these are defaced as well. So a fun fact, the legendary movie from 1974 called Stone, you will see the bike riders, the grave diggers I think they're called, come rocketing down here on a dirt road. And an actor by the name of Ken Shorter, I think his name was, who played the main role of the undercover cop Stone, was trying to infiltrate the grave diggers. So they'll come roaring down here, and then down the bottom there I'll show you exactly where they all sat around and initiated him. I think they put an earring in his ear and they beat on him a little bit. Two very, very famous actors that were in Stone, that was put together by Sandy Harbutt, was Hugh Keays-Byrne. He played the character Toad, and Vincent Gill. He played Dr. Death. They were the two main characters, apart from Stone, that were in that awesome film. And then 5 years later, Keays-Byrne would go on to play the toe cutter in the movie Mad Max. And Vincent Gill, well, those who know Mad Max would remember he played the legendary role, one of my favourite characters in that film. He was known as the Night Raider. He was the guy that Max was after and was chasing him. And he said, "The toe cutter knows who I am." So this leads you into the tiger cages down here. We'll drop down here. I'm sure this has got a gate on it before. This is where we used to get in from. We've got another plaque down here as well. We've got several plaques down here. Stairs are exactly the same, slate. This has not changed. Where was the door in here? Yes, I think this one leads you into the tiger cages, and it's around the corner a little bit. So, yeah, microbats in here. Oh, this is very accessible as well. I gather they still use this, and that's why they don't put the bi-locks on these. This is just for the keys for the national parks. Let's light it up down here, see what it's like. And it goes around the corner, and that will take you through to the engine room and where we were on the other side there looking at the tiger cages. Do not disturb. Threatened microbats asleep here. These structures are home to several rare species of microbat. In winter they go into a form of hibernation called torpor. If disturbed, they may not survive. Please leave quietly. Area closed. There is another one of those over here. I didn't quite read this. What did this say? So this has got to do with the guns here. 80 pounders. Rate of fire. 1 round per 2 minutes. Range 3.6 Ks. 1889 to 1900. There. That's where all the storage would have been. It goes nowhere. It's just like a little room that'll take you in. You can see where the gun, the 80 pounders, would have been hooked to. Right here. There's another one there, another one there. This would have been for ammunition or something, some sort of storage area. This obviously it would have turned around on its rail here to shoot left and right. There should also be a sign about the microbats in this room under here. Yeah, same thing. Exactly the same. So you can see if you head right up there, that takes you into the underground bunker. If you turn left, it's another exit door, and that door is over here. More chain links here. And same here. This one's a hard lock. Yeah, that's a bi lock as well. I could feel the keyway. So this is like a loop. You would enter in through this door here, go around the bunker and exit up the top there. Doesn't really go anywhere down there. Maybe some sort of little funnel for the water to escape during rain. I'm not sure if the troops took cover there. So this one has got 2 links, and the other links have been removed. Now you got 1 down the bottom here. So 1, 2. There should be another one up there, but you can see how they fixed it up a little bit. It must have been decaying. And there's another room here where it goes down. There's normally a hatch on it. I'll go have a look and see if that hatch is securing it tight. I didn't expect this video to go for as long as it is, but I didn't realise there were so many of these new information boards and everything. So same plaque with this one. Okay, so they've blocked it off here. And so that little hatch that I was talking about is just to the right here. And it's open. So that little stairwell there, I think it's open, is it? Yeah, there's wooden stairs going down. So that little stairwell there just goes into an underground room there that's normally flooded. And if you go straight ahead over there, it takes you onto the other side there where stone was being initiated. We'll head over there at the moment now. I'm just going to get a picture of this area and this plaque. It says members of the long course at the New South Wales School of Gunnery removing a 68-pounder gun from Middlehead in 1891. Look at them all. They all had impressive moustaches back then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This guy might not have one. 15. Yeah, 15 or 16 out of the 18, 19 guys have all got moustaches. Let's get on with the final leg of the tour. And this looks out between the heads. Yeah, that's been cut down for sure. That was a lot higher, and there was some sort of nest on top of that, possibly a sea eagle. Actually might put, I'll take a picture of this thing right here. And what I'll do is after you see this picture on the slideshow, picture of my son standing on top of it. Gems of the collection. I'm not going to read all that. Pause the screen. You know what to do. So this door down here leads to where we were just down the bottom here. And the door on the left here takes you in and around here. I don't know what's open over there anymore. We'll go have a look in a sec. But these would be all locked up with bi-locks, no doubt. Yeah, so once you go in here, turning left will take you towards the heads, and turning right is where we just were. Yeah, another bi-lock. See the old graffiti. Let's go see what is open in the way of these rooms down here. I'll just get a picture of this down here. So got some security fencing over there. So they don't want you going down at all. Oh no, here's the stairs here. I thought there were stairs going down. This was crumbling in here ages and ages ago. An old Tim. Yes, we've got an old pin tumbler lock. Here we go. Some of the old ones from back when I used to visit up here. Get the torch out. These locks are the originals here. These are left over from back in the day. Can't really see much. Alright. So that's where you would walk up the top there to get on side. Other side there. Wherever that did lead, you can't get through anymore. Let's see if we can squeeze on through here. There was a swallow's nest in one room here, or swift's nest, one or the other. Whether or not it's still here, soon going to find out. There's that big thing. You would have thought they would have put a plaque here for this. We could never ever work out what this was for. We'd always guess. This is one spot where I thought they may have put something. See, there was hooks here to hang things up. And you can see how it's disintegrating the sandstone. It's just weathering away. The room on the left here is where we used to graffiti our names up on the ceiling with lighters. Should be a little bit of remnants of that left over, unless they've painted it. It looks like they've painted it. But up on the ceiling there, instead of using textures or graffiti cans back in the day, you would etch your name in with a lighter. So this room is still open. Okay, so people have got in here. This one here is making it hard. Hang on. Let me see if I can squeeze on through. Actually, we're going here first. There's the nest over there. I'm not quite sure if it still gets used, but there is a microbat that normally sleeps in here at times. He's not in here today. Windows are normally open. I'm wondering if they're welded and shut. They may have. Old light switch. See if we can get into this room, do a little bit of filming in here. Just going to make sure this structure is sturdy. Oh, it's open. Okay, we can get through. So this is those other rooms that I was telling you about. There's a little, oh, that's just a swift little swallow. And this takes us through. Oh, no, it's okay. I thought they bricked it over where the hatch is, or where the hatch used to be. Down through here. It looks like it's dry actually. No, she's wet. She's wet. It's about ankle deep. I can hear voices, so we better get out of here. Just in case it's the national parks. Just exited. This room here, there's no signs of any cigarette lighter graffiti left over. This room here was accessed through a small little window up the top here. That remained open for years. So just to the left here, there was like a little hatch. I think they put bars on it now, and they have. And this was where you entered from, right here. If you've been watching my other put locks, I've put all the older locks. That was securing all the tunnels, the pin tumbler locks. They've put them on all these little things. I don't know why. Yeah, if you've been watching me for a long time, there's a video of me and Ranger Stacey from back in 2016-17 where I mentioned this is where naughty children were kept. How quickly the years go by. That was coming up to 10 years. 6-inch BL Mark 7. Range of fire 6 rounds per minute, 12.8 kilometres, 1911 to 53. There's your stairs. There was something hooked on there. So I'm not quite sure if there was a gun down there. I'd say there would have been maybe one there. And we'll finish off, well, I'll just show you just down the back here, front here, and we'll finish off with two secretive little search posts that I don't think anyone knows about, that are down in the bush there. I'll be interested to see if the bush is overgrown, but there's two great little places down there where the views are spectacular. I'll be keen to see how much the trees have reclaimed the little path that was there. Shot here with the magnificent views through the heads, north and south head. A few fishermen, looks like they've come down the trail where I'm about to take you guys. And down here is where the initiation took place from the movie Stone. We'll just go along this gangplank and we'll come down into where the stairwell takes you down on the other side here. Oh no, the gangplank's up here, so we'll go up here. Hello Maggie, you're friendly, people feeding you. Hello. You're very friendly. I think people are feeding you. See a little gangplank here. That's where we were, down the bottom here. It's great for the kids. So if you're a young family, sorry for the abrupt stoppage of footage, but the battery just shut itself. That's not too bad. I've done a lot of filming this morning. I only turned up with 2 batteries. So this one should take us out. There's this little area here. I can't get up any further, so I'll bring this down this way. So you got a little room in through there. And that did have, up the top there, that did have a roof on it, so that's where my son was standing. 20 years ago, it's 2025, so in 2005, that's where he was standing up on top there. When you got a father like me, you didn't have much choice to be put onto high structures like that. We've got National Parks and Wildlife behind us here. Coming down, they're all looking around. Lucky I didn't get caught inside. Let's walk around and have a look where this initiation took place. Was a scene, I'm not quite sure what show it was, I think it was Wildside, and a body was dug up from right around here, and there's more tunnels underneath me here, and this is the shaft for those tunnels. It's like a trapdoor, it's been buried now by this grass, but there was another way you could exit here. I don't know where, here somewhere, but it's no longer visible. So if there's one thing you should do in your life, is see if you can download or buy or hire the movie. I don't know where you'd find it these days. It used to be on VHS. The movie Stone. And it's filmed all around here. This is their fort. This is where they're hiding from the assassin that's trying to kill them. And this is where they're all sitting down around here, and they're all making jokes. And just down the road there at Obelisk Beach, I believe that's where they all went nude swimming afterwards. But Sandy Harbut and I think it was Rebecca Gilling, forget what their character names were. Look at that. Wow. So again, I've got pictures of myself in there, on top of there, in there, at the front of there, and it's fallen down. That's why they've blocked it off. This one was always cut. See, they've bent them again. Skinny little child could probably get through there. Yeah, it's got a bilock as well. Not getting in there in a hurry, unless you got them skills. I've got some great pictures of me in there over the years. There's another picture of me just down there. See how it's falling away. This is the view. See you later, Stone. I'm off to show these guys the last two little search posts down through that little track there. There's also some engravings up here on this rock. This one's only from 2010-11. There was a deeper one over here. I got some pictures of... God, I can't wait to get back to that oval there. I'm very parched. I could do with a drink. That could be from the 1800s, I'd say. Look how deep that is. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's see if these are still standing. There's a clear path down here. I did see a gentleman and his son come out of here. They were fishing, so maybe they still do go all the way down. But from what I remember, it wasn't all that easy. I'm pretty sure it's in through the bush there. Oh, don't make me bush bash again, please. Yeah, there it is there. See, they blocked it off. Okay. Can you see him from here or not? Yeah, there it is there. So that's the roof of it. There's one, and there's another one there. We can get to that one. I don't think I've ever been to this one. And a lot of this one has fallen down onto the rocks below. Yeah, I may have been to that one. We'll see how easy it is. We'll get down. There's another one around the corner there. We'll get down to that. We'll definitely get to that. And we'll see if we can drop down onto that. And that will pull up stumps. Let's see how hard it is making our way through here. You've got to remember as well, we did a lot of those, you see the old stairs here? We did a lot of this exploring back when we were younger in the dark, nighttime. So doing it during the day is very easy. I don't know if the national parks have cut that down on purpose to make it harder for people to get down here. The stairs continue down here. Nearly bowled me over. And some more stairs here, spiderweb across here. So this is done in bricks, these stairs. Yeah, that's the way you entered it, through the back here. This was falling apart. Last time I was here, oh God, I don't know. The majority of pictures were from 2016, 17, 18, when we first got into flashlights and I started filming heavily. A picture of this here. The door is open, although we used to jump in through there. Like a trampoline, that would. Oh, this one's still okay. It's not in that bad of a condition. That looks nice. It's a nice frame. Look how close you are to the water here. And the beehive casemates are over there. That's where a lot of the scenes for Stone were also filmed. So this one here, if you explore the outer tunnels up the top there, this one's pretty easy to get down to. So I would say come down and visit this one. The first one I went to, where the inner forts were, definitely don't go there. It's stupidity. The only reason why I felt confident, because I had done it before. Yeah, this one is falling apart big time. See how hard this last one is. See how the roof's falling in, or fallen in? And that last one was up and around. Oh, there's not much left of this. Manly Ferry. Let's see if we can zoom on into the Manly Ferry. tip of North Head. Now, I did promise you guys that we'll end with the other one. Let's see if I can get to it easy. I don't think it's going to be that easy to get to. Let me switch off the camera. I'll see if I can make my way over there. So there's the one that's caved in a little bit. It's just up on the hill here. This has been repaired since the days that it was used, because you can see newer brick. And that brick there, to me, looks like it's from the 60s. So this was repaired a little bit. This one's pretty easy to get down to as well. Oh! Now I think I've been to this one before. There was a chain embedded into the concrete here. Where did I see that? Where was it? Yeah. All the rocks that have fallen down. So okay, maybe the fishermen came down through here. So this could be a known fishing spot for the ocean fishers. I reckon there's been plenty of people going down onto there fishing. Where was I? I was just up there before. Fortress fencing and barriers. Well, that's it from down here. Ooh, I'm hot. A little bit of shade under where I'm standing. See the trail coming down there at North Head. I'll just film getting out of here to the two other little bunkers, and then I'll switch it off, and then I'll bid you farewell when I'm close to the front. If you ever do these ones here, just be mindful if you're trying to get the snapshot and you're walking back on yourself because you can't fit it in the frame. Make sure you get a footing first of where you stand. Always look down to where you are first. Grab yourself a footing and then shoot back, okay? Because it's really easy to fall down. I've done it before, but not, thank Christ, nothing like this. You know, I've just tripped over something on flat ground or whatever where I haven't been having a look what's behind me. It's a bit of a wake-up call when things like that happen to you. See how we're coming down on the back of this one. This is a different way to the way I went, but there was once upon a time a track down through here. We'll see if we can push our way through. I came up the little bit easier way, which was down in through there. Ooh, down in through there. We've got beer bottles here. I know that's probably the easiest way. Look for the stairs. Here we go. So there is another way down here. I know. I've bypassed that one. Oh, okay. So I've turned up at the first one. Oh, I didn't realise that. The other one, we just completely bypassed. That was a quick way. You learn something new every day. Here's the other one. Ah, okay. So from this one, come back behind this here. Hold on, I'm going to go to the front just to get one more shot of this one from the front. Look at the gap in through here. So there's your final look at that one. So once you complete this one and this one here, again, watch your step. Don't get too close to the edge. Don't let the fun police completely tell you can't do stuff. It's pretty safe here. You're far, the edge is over there. You've got a fair amount of rock here where you're not going to fall. So go in behind this one. So like you're heading back up the stairs. Oh, I've lost my thong. A boomerang. And head in through there. Okay, so the first step, head in, straight up. I'm going to make my way out. I'll sign off once I get out, back near the entrance. It warms my heart to see a little fella over there exploring around here. His mum's asking him, lead us the way, lead us down underground, and he's all excited. It's exactly how my son used to be 20 years ago when I used to bring him to places like this on school holidays. Awesome. I better get out of here before the grave diggers start coming down this road. So we have something here that's very new. I don't think I've ever been down here. 460 metres to the battery and inner middle head. Grade 3 walking track. This might be to the beehive casemates. It might walk you along the headland there. That's what I think that is. Anyway, we're going to do this. Maybe a night tour down here. I'm pretty sure this takes you to the tower. You are here. This is the battery they're talking about, the 1801, which is there. And if you keep on following it around, there's the beehive casemates where the grave diggers were hiding from the assassin, and the armoured casemate, and there's a tower there as well. And the George's Head casemate, it was a little bit higher up on there. I think we'll do that at night time. I'm going to let Mavericks know that they've improved everything here. This is going to look awesome coming here at night with our flashlights. With all this stuff, it's a completely different photograph when you're shining a torch on it than it is during the day. And that's it. I'll bid you farewell. There's not that much more to see. There's one more plaque up here that we'll take in. Thanks for joining us. Again, I didn't realise it was going to be this long. I had no idea that all these things were here. See what can happen in just 2 years. Nielsen Park, Sheoak. So until I see you again on the next adventure or explore, adios.